Ladies and gentlemen, hello from Hanoi, Vietnam. Our presentation today just talking about a topic relating to student self-directed learning readiness in teacher educations. Firstly, I would like to introduce our team member, including two persons. Dr. Thi Thuy, she is a lecturer at the University of Education under the Vietnam National University, and I am a PhD student of the University of Education under the Vietnam National University. Firstly, I would like to talk about the reason why we conduct the study. As you might know, self-directed learning encourages students to be active in their own learning and able to conduct learning at any time in any place. So the teacher education student who will be the potential teacher or lecturer in the future need to possess the quality of self-directed learning since knowledge in the field is constantly changing. Self-directed learning is still a new concept in Vietnam. There have been a few studies on this topic and no study to investigate self-directed learning readiness among Vietnamese university students. To identify the level of self-directed learning readiness could have learner education students, instruction, and instructor to understand student readiness in self-directed learning that can have to maximize the learning opportunities and the educational climates to self-directed learning. Our aim of the study to explore levels of self-directed learning readiness and compare the readiness across demographic variables, including years of education and methods among undergraduate students at a specific university in education. We selected is the University of Education under the Vietnam National University in Hanoi. Our research question include three items. The first one is what is the level of self-directed learning readiness among teachers, education students in the University of Education. The second one is there a difference in self-directed learning readiness across years of education. And the last one, is there a difference in self-directed learning readiness across majors? I have to be at glance the concept of self-directed learning before I go to the research results. In the definitions by Mark Knowles in 1975, in its broadest meaning, self-directed learning describes a process in which individuals take the initiative with or without the help of others in diagnosing their learning needs, formulating learning goals, identifying resources for learning, choosing and implementing appropriate learning strategies, and evaluating learning outcomes. Self-directed learning includes some dimensions according to Guglielmino in 2017. Self-directed learning includes 8 dimensions: opening to learning, self-concept as an effective learner, initiative and independence in learning, informed acceptance of responsibility, love learning, creativity, positive orientation to the future, and the ability to use basic study and problem-solving skills. But approaching in a different way, Fisher and his team divided self-directed learning dimension into 3. The first one is desire for learning, the second one is self-management, and the last one is self-control. In order to achieve the objective of the research, we deal with a questionnaire including 10 factors and 40 items, to administrator to 310 students who are the undergraduate students at the University of Educations. We distributed the questionnaires directly at the classes. So we collected 203 questionnaires which are relevant for the analyzing. We use SPSS version 25 to analyze our data with descriptive statistics and maneuver. And here we have three results. First one is level of self-directed learning among teachers, education students. The second one is the self-directed learning difference across years of education. The third one is level difference across natures of education. The first reason is the level of self-directed learning among teacher education students. When we analyze the data, and we discover that two dimensions of self-directed learning, including love learning and problem-solving skill, achieved with moderate levels of self-directed learning, while the other 8 dimensions, self-management in learning, self-control in learning, motivation, openness to learning, self-regulation and decision-making, positive orientation to the future, self-concept as an effective learner, and accepted responsibility, achieved with a very high level. When we compare the difference across years of education, we discover that 5 dimensions of self-directed learning readiness have statistical significance, including self-control in learning, openness to learning, self-regulation and decision-making, positive orientation to the future, self-concept as an effective learner. And the last reason is the level that when we compare with across the measures, we discover that 2 aspects of self-directed learning readiness, their motivation, positive orientation to the future, have statistical significance. The results show that teacher education students at the University of Education reported achieving only 2 dimensions achieved the moderate level, and the other 8 dimensions will achieve a high level. The different years of education poses different degrees of self-directed learning readiness. Different majors poses different self-directed learning readiness, including motivation and positive orientation to the future. This finding could provide a springboard for future research to explore evaluating self-directed learning preparedness across measures so that awareness of this subject can be expanded and be able to knowledge base of students themselves to educators and curriculum designers in the context of Vietnam. However, we have some limitation in this study. The scope of survey conducted only in a university of education where students are provided much support from the university and the government in tuition fee, scholarship, and opportunities. Participants, when answering the questionnaire, gave their feedbacks on their perception about themselves rather than their actual behaviors. So the interpretation should be done cautiously in the future. When examining the frequencies and means on the subscale, the participants' responses were inconsistent. This may be because the translation of concept may not pertain well to Vietnamese student experiences as well as the rigid designs of the instrument. So the future research should be cautious when translating editing based on existing research instruments. So that's all our presentation today. If you have any suggestion or comments, so please provide us so that we can revise our paper. And thank you very much for your listening. And we hope to receive a lot of comment, recommendations or suggestions on your comments for our paper. Thank you very much. Bye bye.